Hello, this is Jessica with Honest Stalker Books, and today I'm going to be doing my August reading wrap-up. And the books for August are right here. Lovely books. Now, two of them are sort of leftovers from July. Wanted to wrap them up, finish them up. I started talking about them and I was sort of struggling. I did finish them, A Long Time Dead by JM Dalgliesh. This one finished up nicely. This is set in Scotland and it's a DI detective investigator that goes back to his hometown. He is requested sort of because he used to live there, and there is a 20-year-old missing persons case where they found the body and they're trying to investigate why she was murdered. The reason why I ended up really liking this is because anytime there's a murder mystery thriller and the ending, the resolution is with science, with facts, with human error or lies to cover up, that's more believable. It's not far-fetched, and so it was very satisfying how it ended. I have 4 more books from this series, and so I will read them because it was nice. I liked it. It's sort of a slow-paced where, it's cold and they're in Scotland and you kind of get that feel. That was how it felt for me. So it was not fast-paced, but if you like that, then you would like this. So, yep, I will read the next one. So this is Red Queen. I am reading this series because my daughter has read it. She just finished the 4th book, and so I did finally get through this first one. I did like it. It got good, and then I could power through it. The Red Queen, she is a red, which is she bleeds red blood. And then there are silvers, and they bleed silver blood. And she finds herself sort of thrust into their world, and she's working for them, and something happens where she discovers that even though she is a red, she has some abilities. So the silvers that are in charge, they have these massive, very impressive abilities. There are other silvers that just either can do little things or not much of anything. And so they are horrified, and I say they, it's there's the queen, and then you have the son Maven, and they are trying to cover this up. So they bring her in, and she is betrothed to one of the princes because they're trying to figure her out, contain her, and control her, and not let this go wild. So that's the first one. So I went ahead and finished that, and I went on to the second book. And in the second book, she joins the rebellion against the silver, and she tries to also locate other reds that have abilities like she does so that they can join the fight. People closest to her think that she starts to lose sight of what she's doing and kind of forget who she is or where she came from, her family, and things like that. So it's sort of that, ascend, descend, and yeah. So I got through it. It was good. On to the third book. I will say, like, for YA series, this, I probably would not keep reading this if my daughter wasn't reading it. I like it. It's fine. It's good. It's just not my favorite YA series. It's good, though. It's okay. The next book is Educated, and I did a whole reading vlog on this book, so I won't go into too much detail, but it is a memoir, and it is the life of Tara Westover, and she lives with her family in Idaho. She's the youngest of 7, and her parents are these survivalists that do not believe in schools, they do not believe in hospitals, going to the doctor, they don't trust the government, and so they are self-sustaining, and it is her life of, being homeschooled, uneducated, and then becoming extremely educated. She does decide to go to school. 2 of her older brothers go before her. She decides to go. It's not easy. It's hard for her, but she works very hard, and there's a ton of things that are horrific that happen, and then there are some really beautiful parts of her life and her childhood with her family and how they lived. But it's just really fascinating, really fascinating. I highly recommend it. It was a really good book. It has great reviews, and it is a good read. It's a very good read. So, yeah. Next on the list is The Honey Farm, and I'd been wanting to read this book. It was interesting. You have Cynthia, who has this honey farm. She lives in Canada. There's a drought. There's been a drought, and it's a problem. And she has one gentleman that works for her, and she decides that they're going to put an ad in the paper, and they're going to ask for artists to come, and for exchange of room and board and food, they will work on the farm, and they will help with the bees. They will help with all of the jobs that she has. And then in their free time, they can work on their art. There is this like oddly sinister underlying tone at times. There are things that happen that are weird, and her behavior is weird, and you're not really sure, is it like a creepy, is there something weird going on, is there something sinister going on? And so 12 people respond to the ad in the paper, and so immediately 2 of them, when they show up, they're like, this is not for me, this is not what I expected, and they leave. Another one leaves shortly after, but for the most part, the rest of them stay, and they kind of find their way. They do the work, they form friendships. 2 of them become romantically involved, and they're doing art, and they're living, and they're eating, and but there's a lot of strange things happening. I was really unhappy with the ending. I felt like there was not a wrap-up or explanation of things. I almost felt like there's going to be another book, because like I was like, that can't be the end. So I liked it, but I have a lot of questions, and I didn't get those answered at the end. So I did not like the ending. I don't like that. And then the last book for August was Remarkably Bright Creatures by Shelby Van Pelt. And this was a beautiful story. The main character, Marcellus the octopus, he is a rescue octopus. He was injured, and he's brought into this aquarium. And he is a very smart octopus, and he does not like being in his tank. And so he finds ways to get out. He gets out so that he can eat whatever he wants. He goes into the other tanks with the other sea creatures that have been rescued, and he eats what he wants. And he also goes into the break room and eats things. And so, but that is actually how he is discovered. So there's the character Tova. She is the cleaner at night, and she is she's probably in her 70s, I think. I can't remember. I think she's in her 70s, but she's doing this because she wants to keep busy. She doesn't want to retire or sit around. She likes to stay busy, and she finds Marcellus out, and she gets him back to his tank, and they develop a friendship. They start to find ways to communicate, and they have this relationship throughout the story. Really sweet. It's a feel-good story, but there is parts where you cry. There are sad parts. It is absolutely worth the read, even though there's some sad parts. There is a long mystery of so Tova loses. She's lost her husband in like the last 3 years, and then she also lost her son. And there's a little mystery surrounding he drowned, and the circumstances surrounding how he drowned and what happened and everything like that. So that plays a part in the story. But so yeah, I don't want to say too much more about it. It is just a wonderful read. I recommend it. It's lovely and wonderful, and yes, you should definitely read this. And then the last book that we read. I don't physically have it, so I will put it probably right here. I read it on my Kindle for our book club, and it was The Stalker. Hold on. And this is it's set in Scotland, and it is a newlywed couple. They go to spend their honeymoon in this remote island that, you know, you can only get to by boat. It is a deserted island. There is a house, a church, a crumbling chapel, and a, you know, very old other structures that are not necessarily sound structures for them to explore. And they start to feel like someone else is there. They are supposed to be alone. It is supposed to be a romantic honeymoon, and it seems that there's somebody else there. So initially when I started reading this book, we were reading it for book club, and probably 2/3 of the way through, I was like, this is very predictable. I felt like she was telling us what was happening and giving you so much information that you could see where it was going. And I was like, but I pushed through because it was a book club book. And then about 60% through, and I know that because it was on my Kindle, there was a twist. And I was like, oh, okay, this is getting very interesting. And then you keep going, and then I powered through it. It was very good. The ending, there was another twist, and so it was really, really good. And then once we were in book club together and discussing the book and doing questions, we all had a realization by talking and figuring things out together that there was a thing that we all missed that made it even better. So it was definitely a good example of why you should push through sometimes, because, you know, maybe your first impression, or a good way, I mean, it was 60% through the book where I was like, that's not great. But it was really, really good. And so I would definitely recommend it. I would definitely recommend it. It was a really good read. So that was The Stalker by Sarah Alderson. And so that wraps up August. And so I'm really looking forward to September reads, but I will do a separate video for that, the September TBRs and what I'm reading. Definitely more mood reading right now, so I have one or two, but then I have a big stack that I'm just going to kind of pull from when I feel like it. And very excited about getting into the fall and fall reads. So thank you if you made it all the way to the end, and until next time, I will be reading.